Thank God it's Friday. I am Mariah Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. Alaja, Nima, Akashat, Zibiri. How are you today?
I'm fine. I'm actually doing very fine medically. Checked and I was
fantastic.
I thought my BP will be up with the kind of life I'm living recently.
Yeah, up and down.
Up and down. But yesterday, I just was sitting in my business because my girl had to go register for school, and I remembered school life. So one of those days where you don't have money, you're broke, you're just walking around lasso, they can be doing matriculation or convocation. You can have a full day's meal of anything that you like just by celebrating with others. So I reflected on those days. We used to go greet people that will come and convocate for their children. Some people come with their entire church bus. They will have coolers of food. They don't have people that want to eat it. We are the well-wishers. And we used to help. You know, those were days.
Even our food. Because she didn't get physical food this morning, she has to
reminisce.
It was yesterday's reminisce.
Yeah. I didn't talk about them. You look like really nice candy this morning.
Yeah. It's a colorful something.
Very nice.
Very grateful to God. Stepping up with my business, and I'm trying to do adverts on radio. Yes. I was going back and forth with Mariah yesterday. I was like, you know, Mariah, Agnes, actually, I didn't have any business with you. But Agnes was sorting me out. So we're trying to see if we can do TV ads and radio adverts for, we have a very good product in Kefikot where you can buy your land and we'll plant yams on it. I mentioned it a few weeks back that we started clearing. We started clearing about 50 acres. But the goal is to cultivate 100 acres of yam, and every investor that buys the land can earn money from the yam. And we have just a 1-month window to close all sales. So we need to accelerate marketing and reach out to as many people as possible. Hence, TV and radio ads having to come up.
Well done.
I'm looking forward to how that will play out. I've
it's
never done something like
it's
this.
always good to measure it.
Yes.
So let's have a proper measurement so you know how effective it is.
Yes.
So you don't keep wasting money. So let's find a way for measuring mechanisms. For you. How you doing, my lady?
My lady.
How is everything? Are you doing somewhere today?
No, nowhere. But yesterday when I got back home, on my dining table was this kitchenware set, knife set, table that my younger brother
What the?
Out of the blue. It has always been on my wish list. I've never mentioned it to anyone, just in my head. I have to do an unboxing video. I was so touched. I'm like, why are you spending your money? Like, how did you even think?
Nice,
I was like, this is my contribution towards your kitchen. I just
nice.
So beautiful. I feel so blessed to have the siblings that I do.
Yeah. Fantastic. How beautiful. I was out partying last night. It was a 40-day celebration of late ambassador Demola Seriki. I was at the party yesterday. It was good to just go out again, I guess.
It's Christmas. You took a break.
Well, Christmas.
You overdid it at Christmas.
Yeah, but it was a nice party. I actually enjoyed myself. Thank you to the hosts. Thank you to the family. May God continue to give the fortitude to bear the loss. But it was good to just see a lot of Lagos life, people there. It's nice. So Mr. Governor said I should greet you. Mariah, I say, yeah. Greet the ladies. Yes, I'll greet you.
We greet you back, sir.
So when people are fasting, I thought they're supposed to be in fasting mode.
So
that you can break your fast and then go and party.
Well, I didn't eat until the time also, so I'm still fasting. You can.
Okay, that you fast off parties.
You have
but she's not fasting off parties. She's fasting off food.
Yeah, my pastor is watching. Please mind your business. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we go through the front pages of the papers. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Good. So thanks for staying with us. We're going to start with The Nation. Petrol crisis, PDP colluding with saboteurs, says Tinubu. Nigerians to buy shares with short codes. House threatens Emefiele with arrest over naira note scarcity. 324 Ondo civil servants risk being declared ghost workers. CBN plans all card transactions through Afrigo. Nigeria's elite are selfish, says Buhari. Pantami, 2.2 million jobs created in 2 years. Immigration processes 9.3 million passports in 7 years.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's talk the one that's touching us quick. The House of Reps committee, another committee that was set up, led by Alassane Adodogowa, to interface with the governor of the CBN and other officials of the CBN over this our money, new currency limit, and the deadline to the phasing out of the old naira notes. He has, of course, the second time turned down to appear before the House. He wrote a letter by 1 p.m. yesterday to the House committee saying that he will be unable to attend because he's in Senegal with the president, and the House thought this was untenable, that, it's a flagrant refusal of the CBN governor to honor the House invitation. And so the Speaker of the House of Reps said he would issue a bench warrant for his arrest so that the police drag him from wherever he's found to appear before the House to explain this. I find it dishonorable of any official appointee of government to say that you will not appear before the people. The House is the people. They are we drew a representative in the House. Those are the people. We are now asking you, come and tell us how this thing is working. And you say, no, you will follow president everywhere. Also, the House has also tried to get an audience with the president over the same issue. So he, as the final say, he approves whatever the CBN governor does anyway. So, try to talk to him.
So Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu was in Makurdi yesterday, and he was saying that the PDP was colluding with saboteurs to create fuel crisis. According to him, he said that while in power, PDP administration gave retail licenses to their supporters and sympathizers who are now hoarding fuel and causing the artificial queues across the country. He said that they met good oil prices for 16 years and they didn't remember gas pipelines. So he's calling on the saboteurs to stop hoarding fuels. He said that those who have been given the PMS license are now the ones that are causing this artificial scarcity. He also said that he didn't know what his offense was, but the only thing you're allowed to do is according to the report, he was just wondering why PDP is now colluding with their friends to cause this artificial scarcity, to cause problem, especially for his own campaign. And he also said the same thing with the naira redesign.
Yes, I liked that, the candidate of the APC is always very direct. During the pre-primaries in the party, he went direct. Yes. He says what he wants to say. And when he was in Ogun campaigning, he also went direct about how convenient that at this time, we don't have power, we don't have petrol, we are doing the naira, everything at this time from the party. So calling out what you think is against you is okay. I like the boldness.
All right. So we have the president who visited Katsina State for a 2-day working visit to inaugurate some legacy projects that had been done by the governor of Katsina State, Aminu Masari. And while he was there, he lamented wasted resources by previous administrations. He said this could have gone into infrastructure when the barrel of crude oil sold for $100. And then he also compared, 1999, 2015, and 2015, 2023. He says that the elite, our elite, he was calling out specifically the elite, says they didn't put their heads together in the years past to move the country forward. And he also said that he believes history will be kind to his administration because of the difference that he's made in security and the economy. He also talked about the train track that's supposed to go from Nigeria, that's the Kano Madi track. And he says that it's important that we live in harmony with our neighbors. He says when he became president, one of the things that he did was to go around the neighboring countries. So it's important that the relationship is friendly. That's the Kano Katsina Maradi Niger Republic rail line. That's what he's talking about. So that's
okay. I want to take the story about the new card that was launched virtually yesterday. The Nigerian National Domestic Card called Afrigo. This is going to be a domestic platform for all card transactions, similar to what we get to do with MasterCard, Discovery, and Visa, other payment cards around the world. The CBN Governor Emefiele mentioned that it is necessary because at this time where we have foreign exchange challenges existing globally, it's important that we come up with a card that ensures all transactions online that can be done using a local platform. The only concern that we would of course have is, once again, Do we have the infrastructure? Can we maintain the technology? How responsive are we going to be? Will we be as responsive as the MasterCard? But the good news is they said that MasterCard, Visa card, Discovery can still run, but I think...
I don't think MasterCard or Visa card has been responsive. When you have an issue, it takes forever. So this might be better because it's local. It might be easier. I'm just suggesting, but I know somebody that had an issue with MasterCard, and it took forever to even get some kind of response. Yeah.
Even if MasterCard and Co were responsive, they are foreign-based. Somebody else is earning our profits. Let them bring something local. Let's say a local company.
Okay, moving on quickly to the Punch. Mega churches, schools bar old naira notes payment and offering. Why is that front page? Katsina youth protest hardship, stone officials during Buhari's visit. AGF pays $446 million Ajaokuta judgment debt. Grabbed ICPC rearrest former JAMB registrar. Traders bemoan losses as fire guts Lagos market. My wife battled for survival as hospital refused treatment. Power tariff shortfall now 2.5 trillion naira, says federal government. And petrol scarcity protesters block Lagos-Benin Expressway. Okay, which story are we starting with?
So I have the picture story in the Punch.
Story, okay.
Yesterday, the shopping mall, in the Bajuma shopping mall on the Balogun Street in Lagos Island caught fire. It started around 11 p.m. And according to eyewitness, the fire service, of course, responded. They battled the fire till about 4 a.m. in yesterday or this morning. Sorry, if I'm not mistaken. And the eyewitness said that the trucks ran out of water at some point, and they had to get a private company, the UBA fire service truck, to assist them. What concerns me more is that our resolve to always end fire with water. Fire is of course very well chemical based. At least from the small knowledge from my dad, there are some other chemicals that you can use, and fire service workers should also be trained to have that skill to know what those other alternatives are. So sometimes it's not all the time fire trucks must be deployed, and if you cannot access it, there are other ways you can use. I learned the fire blanket. I didn't finish skills on all the other chemicals, but I think that can work.
Yes.
All right, okay, go ahead.
I have the human interest story. This is just this is the court case that's going on. If we remember, the lawyer who was shot by the police officer in the Ajay area. So they're in court now and talking before the judge. And the husband gave his side of the story. It's really a sad account of how their day, went. And even a few days before then, he said the car that she was in, she had just gotten it 2 days as a gift for a job well done because of her property engagement. And they had gone to church on their way back. He just gave a full account of how she was shot, and when she was taken to the hospital, he said, he quickly took her to a hospital, and the hospital, they put an oxygen mask over her. They tried to stop her bleeding by putting something on her wound, give her an injection, but they noticed that, she wasn't doing too well, and they insisted that they would take her to a bigger hospital. By the time they got her there, they said when the doctors checked, they said she had already passed on. And yes, so this was his account. His sister-in-law also gave her account of what happened.
Really, really sad. I was going to take the Honorable Minister, the Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, took a jab at Atiku Abubakar yesterday. He was given a report of about the Ajaokuta Steel Company. He was saying that the federal government has paid $446 million to clear off the judgment brought to them by, I think it's Global Steel. Yeah, Global Steel. Now, he was saying that Atiku Abubakar was doing his campaign in Kogi State, was saying that he will restore and resolve the problems facing Ajaokuta Steel. He said, what kind of talk is that? That doing your own government, your government was, in fact, you especially, superintended over the commissioning and the concessioning, actually, of Ajaokuta Steel to Global Steel. And Global Steel were the one that sued the federal government of $7 billion, which they are the ones facing. And because the entire concessioning was thoughtless, it was not well thought through, it was not well done, so it fell apart, and Atiku was the one that superintended over it. He was saying that now it got us into this debt that the Buhari's government is now paying, of which they have only about $50 million left to pay by February, before Ajaokuta still now belongs to the government. So he has no right. If he's telling anybody that he's going to fix Ajaokuta, he is the cause. He was the one that led the thoughtless and the not well executed, poorly executed Ajakuta concessioning, and he has no right to say that he's going to resolve the Ajakuta issue.
I quickly take a story about the ICPC arresting the former JAMB registrar. So the situation has been ongoing for a while, but the former JAMB registrar, Adedibu Ojerinde in Abuja, has been ordered. The issue for his arrest has been ordered based on the fact that they invited him for questioning. He wrote a letter through his lawyer that he won't be available December 12, 2022, that he needed 14 days to prepare, and after the 14 days, he still didn't show up, and is still not available. What are the allegations? Funds diversion to Trillium Learning Center and Shakpati International Schools Limited, and these funds were diverted under fictitious students' names. He was the only signatory to those accounts, and they also found another account that he used false names, forged documents under names of Joshua, Olaniran, Akombila Midi, respectively, to open accounts, and he was the one signing the account. The checkbook for those accounts were in his office when he was taken into custody from the headquarters of the commission. So obviously there are many things he needs to answer for. They want him to answer for stolen identity, money laundering, concealment of gratification, if this new evidence that they found is confirmed, all on the former JAMB registrar.
All right, let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we continue with our reviews. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Daily Sun. Elections, military warns troublemakers. No attempt to create conflict between Tinubu and Buhari will succeed, says APC. 309 Nigerians renounce citizenship in 2022, says federal government. No leader can create new Nigeria overnight, says Obasanjo. Cashless policy gains traction as CBN unveils domestic card payment. Buhari urges Nigerians to reject politicians who will drag nation back to corruption. And protesters block Lagos-Benin road over fuel hike and pricing, says, story?
Okay, I think President Olusegun Obasanjo deserves flowers for being realistic. So yesterday in Port Harcourt, at in the International Conference on Deepening Democratic culture and institutions for sustainable development and security in Nigeria, the former president said that, no leader can create a new Nigeria overnight. He stated that every predecessor must continue certain projects from his, every successor must continue certain projects of his predecessor. And, you just can't come in and change certain things. Basically just stating that government is a continuum and that certain things must sustain. He also emphasized that democracy is evolutionary, according to him. He says it's not a one-shot game. It is evolutionary and it takes time to ground the practice. It is not for quick change, and indeed, if we play by the rules, we would all realize that the regimes or governments can change, but the tenets remain constant, emphasizing that we need a culture to reach where we are going. I love that he has.
Is he campaigning for APC?
No, he did not say that. He just said
for Nigeria.
He's talking about successors and predecessors and how government works. The way we see it is that once this person just come, we'll come and kill all these bad people, and we'll just continue everything as if contracts. We're still talking. You took a story about contracts taken from previous governments that previous that are still dealing with the backlog of it today. So that's the reality out there.
So protesters in Benin yesterday, in Edo State yesterday, blocked the Lagos-Benin Expressway as a result of their protesting the fuel crisis. But unfortunately, as with with protesting and blocking of places, even though the aim was a positive one, it affected a lot of commuters and their businesses. We talked to a few people. The Sun reporters talked to a few people who were affected. They said that they had maybe goods from the farm to go and sell, and because of that blockage, they will incur losses on their goods. So they're just people. Commuters are just charging government to please do something about this fuel crisis, and also, I guess, appealing to protesters to understand that it's like a double-edged sword. You're protesting something, but also it's the commuters that are suffering the blockages on the road.
So I want to take the story from a press statement released yesterday by the Publicity Director for Media and Publicity, APC Presidential Campaign Council, Bayo Ononuga, and he was addressing the statements that were making rounds on social media, said it is fake and sponsored by the fifth columnist, that there's no issue between the presidential candidate for APC, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and the president, Muhammadu Buhari, that there is no issue between them. For the record, he wants to make it clear that what Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu mentioned during the campaign in Abeokuta on Wednesday wasn't to blame the president. He didn't mention the president, he didn't attack the president. He was just, as a concerned presidential candidate, highlighting the issues to our leaders, knowing that they should be aware that there are saboteurs within the system. So he's bringing attention to the sabotage being carried out by fifth columnists within the system, working possibly in cahoots with PDP. According to him, he said that the governor of the CBN, Godwin Emefiele, had mentioned several times that they have released new naira notes, supplied it to the bank, but beyond that, all of the citizens know that these notes are not available in the banks or accessible to citizens, and that it's going to the old note will expire by January 31st, and that the Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu was just highlighting these issues so that the president is aware that even though he set up a 14-man committee as a move to correct the challenge in fuel scarcity, it is still affecting the citizens, re-echoing the challenge and saying that there's no issue between the president and the presidential candidate for APC, and those spreading that rumor just want to cause problems.
So the Minister of Interior, Rauf Aregbesola, was yesterday speaking at the 6th edition of the State House briefing organized by the Presidential Communications team yesterday. He was saying that they've issued over 1.8 million passports, the highest in over 7 years in 2022 last year. He said this is actually because of the jackpot syndrome. Everybody's leaving the country, and for them, they've scored above 80% in terms of performance. And he was saying that they have about 200,000 booklets in their store right now, and they are hoping that they can actually be able, they can also meet and do more and meet the demands of people. Interestingly, I found one of the policies that he had highlighted. I read some weeks back, a policy that he had put together saying that those who live abroad and have expired passports can actually come home. So there's a policy that you cannot deny nations their national policy. So he said that they introduced what is called a temporary electronic passport. It's a one-way passport to return home. You can only go home. So what happens, even though you have an expired passport, it gives an extra page the only thing you can do is come back home, and then you can be stamped. And but they're still in discussions with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs just to have it pull through. But this is a new policy that hopefully will help those who live abroad and have expired passports. He was just giving a countdown the various reports of his parastatal, and he was saying that they've more than 400 prisoners went missing after the Kuje Correctional Center, and they've also gotten quite a number back already. So he was just giving a report on a briefing at the presidential team. Moving on now quickly to the Nigerian Tribune. Let's find a story we've not taken. 159 Nigerians renounce citizenship. I just took that. Jackpot syndrome, fueling high passport demand, says federal government. Airstrike, 40 killed, Nasarawa governor confirms. Alleged 5 billion naira fraud. ICPC rearrest of Jerry Day on court premises. National Assembly leaders to meet Buhari. Reps threaten Emefiele with arrest warrant. Put end to fuel new naira note crisis. Now, says Jerry Ghana. How FG foiled 66 attempts to hack fake virtual meetings, and leave us out of your problem with Buhari, Atiku team tells Tinubu. Let me take most of the stories.
Okay, but the federal government said it has foiled 66 attempts by hackers from Europe to compromise the virtual meetings of the Federal Executive Council. Wow. So the Minister for Communications and Digital Economy, that's Issa Pantami, gave this revelation when they were doing their President Muhammad Buhari administration scorecard series. So this is where everyone shows up to say what they've done and how well or how poorly they have done. And he said that since the unveiling of the National Policy on Virtual Engagements for the Federal Public Institutions in October 2020. They've had not less than 108 virtual FEC meetings, and he says of the 108, 66 attacks were made to try and compromise these meetings. He also mentioned how these virtual meetings that they've had has saved the country 47 billion naira, as you know, in comparison if they were to have these meetings physically. So the minister also disclosed that in line with the Buhari's vision to lift millions of Nigeria out of poverty, not less than 2.2 million jobs have been created in the digital sector in the past 3 years.
Okay, I think that's all we can take on Front Page Review. It's Friday, and we come back, we discuss our hot topic of the day. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So while Nigerians are clamoring and begging and pleading for the new notes, a Nollywood actress, Regina Daniels, posted a video capturing a newly clean Cha-Cha 200 notes gifted to her on set by her politician husband, Ned Nwoko. She said, filming on set, and my husband sent an accountant to bring cash to the location. Ha! Although the bank brought it in 200 notes, it's fine. I love it. Thank you. And that post, she said, her husband also, that she did not even know that $100,000 was cooling somewhere in her account. And this is about cash and gifts. So we'll talk about the gifting your wives cash, how material, how it has made a lot of women very materialistic, or if it has, or it hasn't. We'll discuss that a bit later. But let's talk first about these new Naira notes, because I think YK said it yesterday, that Naira notes are in their hands. The politicians, they have it. All of them know how she talks. It is in their hands. We don't have it.
She don't like.
And then when somebody comes with 2 billion, I'm thinking, this cash that we've never seen, we're still looking for these new notes. And CBN, God Bank is saying they have some. Some other people are having access. And this is where the issue is. Why is it so difficult for government to understand that we, the people, come first in things like this? You've done a new policy where you're saying that everybody should have access to new notes. The regular Nigerians are not getting access, but some rich folks seem to have it. I went to a party yesterday, and the guys outside selling for spraying, you know how much they're selling? Was it which one? I didn't even want to buy, but it was 32,000 for 20,000 naira notes. They're selling at 32,000.
12,000
naira profit. For the 20,000 naira bundle, they were selling at 32 naira. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, what is this?
Why would I pay 12,000 naira extra for the value of
20,000?
So they're outside. So the point is, there are people getting these notes. So we don't know anybody that knows anybody that nobody. We don't have notes. We're the one waiting. We won't be at the one waiting at the ATM, hoping that new would be
minimum
best.
to get the minimum amount that we're supposed to get.
That right there is a problem,
rationing our
and we must
access to
discuss
cash.
it because it's a policy that is coming out. We've said that if you want to change notes, it takes time. You don't do a drastic change. I don't know, what are you rushing for? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to achieve by rushing it so much? And that's why candidates are saying, is this against them? Because it's looking really, really like it's truly against people. What are your thoughts on this?
It's not exactly about the candidates alone. I think there's this, when government make policies, or from the CBN particularly, I think it just enjoys the conversations that come with it. So when he did Forex ban on certain things, we talked and talked, he didn't respond. Not once, and he didn't back down.
Yeah.
So the scarcity created a difficulty, and the value of the Naira dropped. He still did not react. He doesn't care. So he's doing innocent, and he's doing it again. It's not about, because you see all those big people, they got dollars. The dollar don't stay scarce. No. They not still they see the dollars. So the dollar is outside there. Even this Naira we are seeing, so Regina Daniels can just be sitting on set, and the husband will just send her, go and give her a truckload of it, let her just enjoy. So that she can flaunt it for us to prepare us on. But that affects our daily lives and business as well. As the more we are shouting, there's this feeling of pleasure it gives the CBN governor. Because I don't understand. You're a leader, you're making policies for people, and you're saying to the people, I don't care how you feel about it. You must buckle up. But you make exceptions for a select few that eventually makes your policy fail. The people that you should be holding, you're not holding them. They are the ones who made the forex whatever fail.
Exactly.
They devalued the naira. Exactly. They moved their monies into dollars, moved it out of the shores of this country.
Exactly.
They started buying houses outside. All our actors and actresses now are US residents.
Exactly.
They moved the dollar. Look at that policy where Mr. CBN governor. And how did he pay?
Thank you, Nima. That's in fact, you just hit the nail bullseye, because that you said exactly the issue. Let me know your thoughts coming. Your thoughts here on this.
So I feel that, you know, Nigerians already have a wide inequality gap where there are a group of people that people look up to and say they have a better life, they have access, they have everything. And then a very small group, less than 1%, and the majority are left to do whatever they can, which is why there's a lot of anarchy, which is why kidnapping is rife, which is why people can convince a young person that enter into the bush at the risk of losing your life, kidnap these people and watch over them. Whenever you see victims of kidnapping talk about the results, they will tell you that the people that kidnap us, they cannot be the one at the aims of their fate. These people don't even look like they've seen 50,000 before, top of asking for 500 million. It's because there's a long chain of command, and that's because there's a long chain of anarchy and a long chain of poverty. So there is always people to recruit. How does this tie into this story? We have leaders look you in the face like we don't send you.
I'm telling you.
And it's their character says it over and over again. And you cannot have a country where people are complaining they cannot withdraw 5,000 and somebody is putting 200. The insensitivity and carelessness of you, even if they dash you the money, should you put
it?
Because you see suffering everywhere.
Let's even leave Regina.
Hustling for
let's because she's a young girl. You know, she's been what's that thing? She's being kept. Pampered and kept woman. No problem. Let's leave her. But you are the CBN governor. If I was a CBN governor with the mind and heart of Nigerians, I would get people to have access first. All the rich, if you have X amount of millions in your account, you can't have access yet. Let the Nigerian people get access to these new news first. You should be the last level. Because I need the Nigerian people to first have it. Because if they don't have it, they cause problems for our government and administration. They don't think that way, but they put themselves first. So why does the Nwokolo or the Nwoko get access? The rich folks have access. And those of us who are going to the bank, they don't have
the bunch of money. The money does not even have banks.
Nylon,
it does not have bank stamp. You know that if a bank is releasing funds, you will see that it will be printed with the bank's name. So it's direct from CBN.
So our leaders, obviously, when they get to the very top, sort of create a bubble for themselves or create different bubbles for themselves, and they forget us. And I think all of us in different ways, we create these bubbles where we forget, we make ourselves comfortable, and then we totally forget or even refuse to relate with anything outside, our bubble. And that is we've become so out of touch with reality. Everyone has cried about the policies and saying, okay, you have to look at it and how it will affect the Nigerian on the street. We also know that one of the reasons why we have the redesign of the naira is because the CBN governor had said that kidnappers were asking for money. And today, on my way to work, I heard something that was so profound. Someone says kidnappers do not have the burden of getting that money. The burden of raising the money is on the family of the victims. So if you like, change it. All the kidnapper has to do is say to the family, go and get what I want. So this particular story is in the papers, and it was saying that these kidnappers had asked, for 5 million naira ransom for a group of people. And when they brought the old naira notes, they told them to return it and instead bring them food and other materials. So the thing is, when we make these policies, are we really in touch? When we say, usually also when we hear about policies, we hear them say, we sat down with stakeholders. Who are stakeholders? These stakeholders, are they the same people in your same group who are totally out of touch with reality are these regular Nigerians on the streets. So it's, and then that's on the one hand, that's on the government side. Then on the side of regular Nigerians, in the same bubble is the reason why someone who's been given this amount of money does not realize that this may not be the right time to put it out there that I have gotten beyond the regular limits that a Nigerian is supposed to even get per day, and I'm flaunting it. It's your money, it's okay to flaunt it, but we're saying that, do you now see how you're perpetuating the narrative that people in those caliber of people just are completely out of touch and insensitive to what is happening to the Nigerians on ground? Because one thing that will come out of conversations like this, it's so easy, Nigerians will drop it, they are jealous. You to go and get your own 200,000, but it's beyond that. That's not the conversation.
Absolutely.
The conversation is Nigeria is struggling with something, and then we can see that there's a group of people that are beyond the issue that we're
So I understand. See, the reason why I had an understanding of the CBN's perspective was because I pictured the fact that if I'm a kidnapper, I've gotten 100 million naira with me, I can't trade with that 100 million naira because I've already collected ransom. I can't buy guns. I can't buy food with this 100 million naira. So I must force myself to go and deposit in the bank. That was my thinking, to force everybody to put it in the bank. So when the kidnapper now wants to go and withdraw, to go and buy ammunition or to go and buy food, we can monitor, okay, who is buying what. And so that's what I was thinking, where I said, okay, this policy for me, I think, for the objective, if indeed that's the objective, made sense. But understand that the policy also affects millions of other Nigerians. There has to be a way to ensure that we don't suffer alongside what you're trying to do. So unduly suffer. So one of the things that we're asking, that make this new naira notes available, because if I have 1 million naira and I put it in the account, you're telling me I can only withdraw 500,000 per month. Okay. So you've already restricted how much I can withdraw. Now, but why must it be so soon? Why won't the deadline be end of January?
Why must all the policies go together? So there's a new naira note, there's phasing out of old one, there's limiting cash withdrawals. Why must everything escort themselves at once?
Exactly.
Are you the master of pain?
You want to tighten the news.
You want to tighten news. Must you do it now? How about you phase out old naira notes and make available new naira notes in 3 months?
No limits.
You then do withdrawal limits. Now you go to the bank. At the ATM is only where you can get the new naira note. The limit is 30,000. See the queue.
Yeah.
Abule Ado is just a small, just go and see the queue. People are struggling. So you're calling who you know, and nobody's. And I found out someone just said to me on the side that they give the banks daily only 2 million of new naira notes. How do you think they're supposed to do it? What do you think?
Which one of the currencies? Any of
the 1,000, the denomination, the upper one.
The
only 2 million of it daily. So what do you want us to do? You're shouting. We will spread it inside. So you take a bundle of 100,000 naira from the bank, because I need naira, cash for my business. And in between, they'll just put 2 new naira notes in 100,000 naira bundle.
What?
Let me go on a break. When we come back, we'll continue to we'll open our phone lines to get from our viewers. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing the fact that a Nigerian was celebrating the fact that she got brand new naira notes. She's wealthy, and her husband gave it to her as a gift. And this is the money that the average Nigerian is going to the banks asking to get and is unable to get. And we're saying that why is the system in such a way that prevents regular people from getting what we all need, especially when we have a deadline by the 31st of this month. All the cash we have in our hands is useless. We must deposit in the banks because we need new notes, and the banks are saying they don't have new notes. Yet, rich folks are displaying this money across, are taking as gifts, parties, praying, and I'm thinking, what is wrong with us? CBN governor needs to help us understand why certain people are having access to these funds and others aren't. And why is there such a hurry? Why can't the date be extended, especially after the National Assembly have repeatedly requested for the CBN government to come and answer questions, and he has refused because he's king of the financial policy in Nigeria. So the point is, What is going on? And that's why we're having
Well,
this
we have some tweets here. Immaculate Boy says, well, from 1st February, the new notes will be 100% available. Policy is aimed at checkmating money politics for this election. Please allow the state to do what is good for all of us. Though we suffer now, but by March, it will be okay.
So
would
would
Immaculate
there
Boy
be
was a CBN spokesperson.
And
Because what Immaculate Boy is saying and CBN own is different. They're two different things. He has continuously, emphatically said that this money will phase out our old notes by that period of time. People need some cash to continue their businesses. Right now, you're saying what you can only do your business with is 30,000 naira daily limit. Somebody who does a 3 million naira cash business in the market daily, whose transactions are hanging and is wondering, how do I continue business? Whose business has been suffering for a week is wondering, waiting consign me, consign this policy right now. Okay, if you want to phase out notes, give me my notes. Let me continue doing businesses, doing my business while you are doing your phasing out.
like we've done before.
So
As it was before.
Because between now and Tuesday, there are businesses that are suffering because many people are not collecting
Not
that
all
money.
businesses
Churches are not collecting money.
compliant.
Churches
Not
are
all
not.
businesses can rely on your online transactions successfully. Check
People
business.
are not
except you are not
collecting that
realistic.
money anymore. If you go to the gas station, some people are saying, "Go pay only the new notes."
Yes.
So people are suffering.
Yes.
But let's also check another part. Apart from the fact that the new naira notes are not available, the point is, even though the policy limits cash withdrawal, it does not say it is impossible for you to get cash withdrawal. It is just that there will be penalty to your cash withdrawals, which is a percentage of your money
Right now,
above
it's
it.
impossible. It's not.
When are you collecting
There's no
withdrawals?
penalty.
If
Try
you want
now.
to withdraw above the 500,000,
They will not give
according
you.
to the policy.
Yeah.
that
You get a
CBN
paper.
gives,
Oh yeah.
you would get. They would pay. They can pay you more than that in a month
they
as
cannot.
an individual, but you will pay more.
Yes.
You
on
know,
it. That's what the policy
No,
is
that's
saying.
what it says on paper. Realistically, for those who have tried, I'm sitting here, I've told you I've tried.
Doesn't kick off
You
yet
can,
now.
they will not give you.
Doesn't
They are
kick off
telling you
yet.
they can't give you.
This is February kick, so let's go for that
Auntie,
one.
you know
Let me take this call. Good morning from Kola Wale.
They will go close shop.
Good morning, wonderful people.
Good morning. You're live. Oh, yikes. I'm so sorry. Could someone call him back, please? He really was happy to talk to us. Yes, let's give you more.
Andrew Streatham says, a verb in Nigerian parlance, to emefiele means to make scarce in circulation. The word can be used in past, present, and present continuous.
Why could I give her
For
that?
example, if I say, I have been emefieled by XYZ Bank, Z Bank, it means XYZ Bank has made money scarce in my pocket, I guess.
Manuel says, while I understand
Let's
your
laugh.
leanings, please don't dwell much on the impact on politicians with stashes, but on the masses. The CBN wants all to believe that new notes have been available for all to change before the deadline, even though the new notes are only becoming available days to the deadline, which is the reality.
Our leanings is to Nigeria, so I don't understand.
Yes,
But-
we're not talking about the politicians. We're talking about the average Nigerians that are complaining. I'm scared to. I can't. If I don't want to go and join queue because every time I get to the bank, you cannot even.
Yeah, even
it's not accessible.
You see, let him even speak to us, just like this spokesperson said, or the way.
But before the House of Reps.
Yeah, so if Omievele comes out this morning and said, I know this is really hard right now, but trust me, by February 1st, I've set aside 10 billion or 100 billion to go into the banks. By February 1st, everybody will have access to their money. Fine. But
Are you sure Emefiele knows that it is tough right now?
No,
Or
but
do you think that it
He's
feels
in
like they're trying to
Senegal.
sabotage? Because you see,
Senegal.
the leaders that we have, our group of leaders, they live in this small bubble that makes them feel like all social media people, they are attacking my policy because it's going to disturb them from their corrupt practices. So they're not seeing the real pain that the average Nigerian is feeling. I have spoken to politicians and I'm like, no, it's not working. I say, but the truth is, what you're just saying is not true.
Yeah.
So many people in that space, they don't understand the impact of their policies on us, which is why it seems like we're shouting over and over again on the show so that we can get through to them.
let me take to Joker. I'll come to you, Miriam. Joker, are you there? Well, something wrong with my phone. Go ahead, Miriam.
Yeah, but I was just saying that it was only last week that we heard from the CBN governor that he alleges that there's money that's been kept, but banks are refusing to go and pick it up. And I thought it was a joke because I don't understand. There is a system. Isn't there a system where money is returned and money is picked up? So what has happened? Have they gone to receive it? People like them, Ned Nwoko, that are able to collect it in large amounts and give a gift. Did they go straight to the CBN to collect it? Or did they go to the banks? And if they've gone to the banks, that means the banks have collected it. Could it be that there are not enough funds? So their stories are not gelling. We
And
really
could it
need
be
to hear from the
that there's a
CBN
real
exactly what's
sabotage?
happening.
certain people.
That's
So, for
what
example,
Jagaban said.
everybody. See, we have to put all the cards on the table. Maybe there are people within the banking system. I say, you know what? We're all part of this small cartel to ensure that there's scarcity in the land, so that people
And lament.
can begin to lament and cause problem, because there's no reason. Somebody is saying there's NNP, there's fuel, and the mothership has fuel, but between mothership and to the gas stations, we're not seeing fuel. Distribution. Somebody bank is saying, CBN is saying they are giving them money. Between bank and the Nigerian people, there's no money. So who's sabotaging who? Somebody must
better
answer.
open up. Because me, I don't believe that Nedwoko went to the bank to get the money. I think he swapped the cash, that old cash and new cash that he had in his house. And I think that there was no limit. No.
Where did he swap it?
In the bank. Well, just a moment. And I think that there was no limit to what he swapped.
Hey,
That's Nima.
investigating Nima.
Before you will carry, if I have new notes now, I will not give somebody a bundle of it. I'll give you a bundle of the old notes. You still go and queue the bank.
You know, say I
And
want
when
But
you are
when
the
you
wife,
can
But
do
you're
it
giving it to your
with
but when
wife.
you are the wife, it's our money.
calm down now. If you can do it with ease, it means that you have it in abundance.
No, but it's
me,
your
I
wife.
kept
in
new
this case.
notes to go and spray yesterday.
When you got to the
Unfortunately,
family,
you
you were
said
embarrassed.
I need spray.
When you saw
Old
the you
notes.
don't
I
tell
have the old notes. I have to find a way to spend it between now and Sunday. I have to spend. If not, I have to take it to the bank.
now.
Because let me take this call from Joke. Joke, are you there?
Yes, good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Good morning.
Morning.
Please, I want to tell you, I was at the first bank yesterday.
Go
They
ahead.
didn't load the ATM. They did not load money in the ATM.
Yes, we've been hearing that.
We didn't see money collect at the ATM.
Yeah.
Thank
And
you.
even inside the bank, I'm still paying old naira notes. What's still happening? I was at the first bank yesterday. Thank you. Please,
Thank you.
Thank you, Joke.
That's feedback.
This whole week, we've been talking about this stuff.
Is this not this
And
week
the
that's
same-
supposed to be
The same story, and it is Friday.
Rolake
So
says
these are the stakeholders that
yes,
CBN should
now.
be talking to.
Rolake says that policies in Nigeria are meant for the masses. If NIN didn't stop stop kidnappers, why would cashless policies stop kidnapping? Sometimes you think the people without we think like people without brains. Nigeria makes us question your education. People's bank account number have been collected for vote buying and all of that.
Cool DJ Funky Flex says, Regina isn't my problem. My own is, why will a CBN governor make a policy and go on 1 month vacation at the
Let me
same
mention
time?
the gist.
All right,
And
we have to
President
wrap
in
up.
Senegal, when the House of Reps is summoning him over this situation that everybody is shouting about. In each constituency, these House of Rep members, their constituents are shouting at them that what are you doing about these policies? They now summon you, an appointee of government, to come and explain to us how come these things happen. How do we explain to our people?
Yeah,
You went to
above the law.
Senegal. Senegal is more important.
Let me take this call from Emmanuel, then we wrap up on this. Emmanuel, are you there? From Jos. Hello?
Hello, morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Emmanuel from Jos. Good
Yes.
morning, ladies.
Morning.
Emmanuel.
Thank you very much. I have followed your conversation and I understand the frustration Nigerians are facing listening to all of you. But the truth of the matter is there are some things that are going on that are not, the public is not aware. I'm speaking as an insider, as a banking professional, and I can tell you for free that what led to this is being obvious now. When the central bank said a lot of money in circulation is not in the control of the central bank, you needed to see the way people are bringing cash into the bank. That's number one. Number two, reports are already being generated to the central bank and to the security agencies to begin to track those people. Unfortunately, Nigerians are usually waiting for the last minute to deposit their money. This morning, I've got to the ATM and have withdrawn, and I still got the new notes.
In
Was
Jos.
set up. Yes, in Jos.
Very
Yes.
good.
You got news.
I'm talking. Now, unfortunately, there's a mistake that happened which is being corrected. The POS operators are going to the banks to withdraw large sums of money so that they can go and hoard. Because the POS operators go with their card, so they can still withdraw as much as 500, and that their limit has not been maintained on system. And that is why there is like a scarcity of new notes. There is abundance of new notes, I can tell you for free. But the POS operators, conniving with other bank staff, are the ones causing this thing and creating problems for people. Yes, some people may not be able to do transfers electronically, but this thing's implementation will be gradual. No matter how gradual it is, some of us will still feel the pain.
All right. Thank you, Emmanuel. So that's another. So in case, peradventure, I'm telling you the pastor's words. You know, if what he's saying is true, it's a Nigerian problem. That's the with the people again. So we're thinking to ourselves, let us hoard these new notes, because then people have to cause a scarcity, and that will now cause a demand to come to the POS. I mean, these are different arguments. It could be right, it could be wrong.
CBN just this Monday said that POS in Lagos and Abuja are exempted from helping to mop up cash and distribute new cash. So that's what he's saying might be possible in Jos, but impossible here. And POS operators are payment point solutions. Of course, people come for withdrawals. If there's a ban on the notes, they'll be doing everything, life and death, to get the cash. And they cannot get it in Lagos. So how do they operate? They close shop. That's what you're saying. You close shop, cause hardship for people in some areas where they cannot do those businesses. This policy is not perfect from the design, not talk of from execution. It's not perfect.
Let me take Mohammed call. Good morning, Mohammed. We have to wrap up on this. Good morning, Mohammed. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yes, I just want to express my view in the issue of what you people are discussing right now. Yeah, well, to be honest, I'm speaking from Bida in Niger State.
Yes.
But what I also discovered that is even a local market very close to us. Okay. This issue of naira scarcity, you discover that there are new naira notes in the hands of people already selling it to public and collecting commission.
You see?
So who are we to blame? Is it the bank, or who are we going to blame? I was in the bank to deposit the little I have about 2 days ago. In fact, I spent over 2 to 3 hours.
In Niger State.
Madam, yes, that is the reality. I have a local market very close to us. When you give them 1,000, they'll give you 900.
See?
So going to the bank was better, and going to the bank is
Anyway,
longer.
talking about going to the bank,
now
Williams Olajumoke is saying that this is what happened to her, saying ATMs here are still dispensing old notes. I wish you could tell us where exactly. ATMs here are still dispensing old notes. There should have been like 6 months interval for the swapping. I still have a lot of old notes with me, and there's no how to swap it yet, because even the bank said they don't have. They want us to deposit our money and stay without cash. So for those that are saying that people are not taking their monies to swap, is that when they go there to swap, there's no cash to give them. And you're saying, give us all the cash that you have and then go and stay cashless. And some people cannot afford to do that, either for their personal business or just, personal daily living. And that's what we're having.
Also,
so, Nima, you said earlier over and over again that the policy, there are issues with the policy. I have been a supporter of this policy, and I have to reiterate that, because some people watching at home would get the opinion like, oh, this policy is horrible. It isn't. The truth is, if you look at the policy on paper, the policy is needed. Like, we need it. We have excess liquidity. There's so much money everywhere that the CBN, CBN knows that we've printed so much money, we won't even know where the money is. No idea. And that is how a lot of crime and corruption and terrorism is being funded. So there was a need, and it was valid. But the policy implementation is flawed, and I agree, but the policy itself is necessary for where we are as a country. Now, what we would expect is the government, I shouldn't be the one explaining the policy. You created the policy. Your entire media team for CBN should be on all social media platforms and on TV explaining to Nigerians. There should be wide sensitization, adverts, jingles, telling Nigerians why the policy is necessary for them so they can buy into it. Mariam, the truth is there's no cash swap. This policy is not a cash swap. This policy is a mop-up cash process. So we're not giving you back your money. We're telling you keep your money in the bank. Don't keep your cash in your pockets.
So I said the policy is not perfect. I didn't say it was wrong. I don't know what you're hearing. We need it. But don't kill people's businesses while you're at it. Don't make people suffer for a period of time, losing money, losing connection, losing business. Because some people will find a way. That was what happened to the Forex issue. Some people became billionaires overnight over the scarcity you created. In this country, what did you do about that? You've closed some bureau de change. Some people became billionaires overnight and empowered your friends. This can be investigated when this government is out of power, and then you start to say, oh, we see it. No perfect system. But you must listen to the people you're creating the system for. Why are you saying you won't listen to them? If 30,000 naira limit you have given is a problem, revisit it. There's no perfect system. That's what I say. And as it is now, it is not perfect. For everyone you create another hardship. And when people talk, you say no. And how many registered POS businesses do you have? How are you allowing those businesses get what they need? How are you allowing them help you in the areas? See now, somebody just said in Nigeria State, for every 1,000 naira, you get 900 naira. Over
They have
this week.
created
They have
a
created
black
a business
market.
for some black market people.
Created a
So you say it's not perfect, you say it's wrong.
Is it a sabotage against some certain places? Because people at Niger State,
so this
somebody
lady that
just says they have access. So is it like there are some parts of the country that are yet to get the need?
Maybe that one person just was lucky to get access.
Well, we don't know.
Or not.
Because this person says in Kaduna, POS operators are still using old notes. They say they have not even...
I say, I still got old notes yesterday.
Let me take this message
a bundle
from somebody.
of old notes with two new notes inside.
I collected old notes from Union Bank yesterday morning. But at a party yesterday, they're selling new notes. The girl said if I give her 30,000 naira, she will give me 20,000 naira of the new 500 notes.
So will be using 10,000 to buy.
Yes.
So
it's the market. So it's the profit.
The scarcity is going to empower some people who know how to cut their corners.
Obviously, and we also mentioned that when you do strictly online transaction, even though the cost, the percentage that you're supposed to pay on each transaction has been reduced, we are still empowering banks a lot and the payment platform. When you move the entire country into being cashless, it means if I transfer 2,000 naira here, I'm paying 2,026 naira. I want to pay each of you money. Well, if I'd withdrawn 10,000, I can share 2,000 without having to pay 26 naira, 26 naira, 26 naira, 26 naira.
So that
for me is profiting the banks. The banks are already declaring a lot of profit on a regular basis. But now every transaction you do, no matter how small it is going to be charged. And it's not convenient for many Nigerians.
It's not.
We have to go on a break.
Right,
We have to go on a break. I mean, we have to. I wanted to wrap this up, but it seems that
I know there's
someone is responding to...
Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll continue our conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I was responding to...
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
All right, so we're still discussing Ned Nwoko's gift to his wife, and we're talking about it in the interesting part of can you gift? Why do women love money so much? Is money so necessary to oil the relationship? And you know, a lot of people always feel when you hear stories like somebody just dashed her husband 500,000 naira ring, or just bought them a new car, and now thinking, hey, when will I get gifts? Is it that my hair doesn't collect gifts? Is it that the person I marry doesn't value me enough? Because a lot of women throw these things out there, and it makes others feel like they're not enough, or they're not worthy of such. What are your thoughts on this material syndrome of just having been cared for and pampered and taken to Dubai for breakfast and to China for dinner and Japan for the weekend, stuff like that? Is it really our dream, or is just some kind of a facade that we create for ourselves?
It's okay to dream more.
I don't want to dream. I don't want to start. Let me start with Mariam. What are your thoughts on this?
It's what I guess people will call different ways
Strokes
of expressing their love, or love language, as you say. There's some people that like cards and flowers, and they would talk about it forever. And like, oh, I remember this bouquet of flowers that I got. And then some people will talk about the money that they got. I'll never forget when we were young and dating, and if I would say to my friends, oh, we went out to lunch, I went out to dinner, One of my friends just told me, how much did he give you? Like, what are you saying? Lunch and dinner does not make sense. Please, how much did he give you so that we can enter Balogo and go and shop? You know? But it was not, for me, it was not my love at the time, but I think my love language is changing. Yes, changing. I think with age, you now start thinking of dollars and pounds, you know. Anyways.
I don't know why I never really liked, I mean, sometimes I feel like just waking my dad from the dead. Like, why did you make me hate money so much? Because I just find that I'm not big on money, and I wish I was, because I really want to have money. but you know, someone like, and I like you, I know you, but I just don't like you.
Yeah, but because of the way we're raised, we're raised to be very careful. We were taught that money is to buy something. So if someone was to give you money, they are trying to buy you, and no, you cannot afford me, you know. So we would accept other gifts as appreciation for, you know, the love for us and things like that. And then maybe in marriage, then we become more comfortable. And some people, you know, you may find someone who gets all these monetary gifts, and you are happy, you know, happy for them. But it's not the same in your case, but it does not make you less than that person. In your case, it may be that monies are being put into stocks for you. Money is being used to build something for you, helping to push your business. Maybe you're not getting physical cash, but you get a deed for a land, you know, things like that. So I don't think when we find women who get these cash gifts that you should be looking at yourself and saying, I'm not worthy, or I'm not this, I don't attract goodness. You attract different kinds of favor. And
Nima, now let me come to you. Let me hear you.
So you were talking about dreams, and I was saying every dream is valid. If your dream is to get it, it's okay. Dream your dream. I'm still upset with my mom for the way I was made to be scared of even gifts. So as a young girl, if you gave me a cup, I will ask you, do you need water, or you want to send me a message? It's a gift. Why? You know, and I grew up with that mentality where I'm scared of what's. I don't want too much. I'm okay in my small corner. And recently, I'm taking reading some books, and I'm wondering, did I sort of limit myself? And I did, because I didn't want anything. I was always okay with whatever I had in my hands. Only my own thing is okay for me. So it's okay for her to dream whatever dream, but to get it and not enjoy it in your privacy is what I have issues with.
Yes.
So every day, she's married to Nedwoko now. And we know
billionaire.
It's a freaking billionaire. It's beyond this one that she snap photo with. But, you know, if you don't have content, you now say, okay, let me just snap photo of money and put out there. You know, because better things are happening to you. Bigger things I must have done for her. But because of the way we are wired, we create this materialism. And young girls start to think that, you know, the way she got married to Nedwoko and got access to a billionaire's fund is what they must all do. At the risk of the bigger evil out there that, you know, they will be exposed to. So they'll start to fake it, find this. I love what Tools and Bemi did recently, where they went to, they're addressing one fake life, snapping photo inside airplane. In fact, the thing rolled me over, laughing over and over, because that's what girls now resort to do, just to prepare them. So I want Tokpe to think, it's not only Tokpe now. I'll just go and snap photo somewhere and send and post it. Sometimes I will be checking how many times I've read the likes. How many people have viewed it. I don't have work again. Mentally, I'm running myself down. People are looking for validations in the wrong places. This is how it starts. Show the hard work. Show, you know, you're on set. And content is enough that, you know, somebody is videoing when you're taking your lines, you're reading your script, but no.
They'll say that. Why would you?
Well,
because it's my money. You didn't work for the money. Somebody will say, why do I have to worry about what people think? He sent me money. It's my husband. He sent me money. What's the big deal? Why are we making it an issue? It's not my money. Did you work for the money?
Did she work for the money?
She worked for the money.
It's her husband. Her money anyways, as far as I'm concerned.
No, now you say did I work for the money? Did she work for the money?
She worked for the money.
You know, sometimes we, of course, we're meant to look at things from all perspectives, but sometimes it might just be a simple case of, I'm feeling so loved, I want to share my joy. You know, the same way we come out and say, today is my birthday, and we post a picture of us, you know, looking good on our birthday, the way you give birth, and then, you announce your pregnancy. Social media has gone to the place where people share every good thing.
Yeah.
And the day they are crying too, they come and like they are crying on camera, and I'm wondering,
not.
hello, why are you crying on camera? And some cases you see people share their heartbreaks.
It's therapeutic to cry on camera.
Yeah, I follow Coral BD.
It's therapeutic because you feel like everybody's watching that emotion right now. You're crying, you're sad, and you feel like you're crying and you're crying and you're
I don't
crying.
understand what Brian is
and then
saying,
you're
but
recording
let's
it. I'm just telling you, listen.
You know, I think about it. I'm like, I'm crying. I'm deeply sad and upset. Then I'm crying. Then I'm recording it. Should I arrange my eyes in such a way that it is Instagrammable?
What is therapeutic to you? Is different to me.
The world, what
So
I'm
everybody's
going
different.
to,
Yeah, sorry, let me let you down.
Yeah, where I'm going to is the world is changing.
Yeah, the world is changing, exactly.
World is changing and how we live our lives changed.
Yeah.
And now our announcements are on social media.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember when I was growing up, I grew up in Maltu, Igbo community, when somebody gives birth, you see white powder on the neck. That's the announcement to everybody. When you rub powder on the neck, that you are doing a mugo, somebody has given birth around. Yes,
the mother of people around.
No, when you come visit the baby, they will spray white powder just to share.
Mother of the...
To go around.
Baby, the new mother.
No, the mother of the, like, omugo.
The grandma.
The grandma.
Grandma.
Would have powder on her neck.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, because when you finish powder your baby's body, you rub the remaining leftover powder on your neck. So your neck will show that you are now doing omugo. And everybody around you just default know that this woman is taking care of a grandchild or a baby. We announce our good news. And we shouldn't read more to it like she's flaunting.
Yeah.
It's not bad belle. She's happy.
Yeah.
She married a rich man and he's spoiling her. And she's allowed to spoil her. They have the money. So people have...
They just spoil her.
We shouldn't feel bad. People have money. And there'll always be poverty amongst us.
Yes.
And there'll be wealthy people. I have told God, I want to be in the category of wealthy people. It's not a problem.
Yes.
But... and because our social media life has changed, everything we do is now
online. I like
online.
this point you're making, Tokwe, because I think it's really valid. Right? It also helps us to look within. Put yourself right now in this girl's shoes. You're married to a billionaire. You don't have to work a day in your life. You are servicing in the other room. You have a fantastic child. You have fantastic children. You have fantastic... Everything is going well. You know, and the guy is pampering you with money. What's the big deal?
You just receive a lot of 100,000 naira for $200,000 2 days. You didn't know that $100,000 had been in your account for... What they think to forget? I'm telling you, my what they think to forget?
Auntie, you need job. You throw $100,000 in your account and you just own me.
Will you forget? No, that's not who you are now.
Wait.
Even
that's
when
not who you are. That's not who she is.
That's where we are all
different.
What's the girl's name? We're all Regina inside.
No, not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
I know
all Regina inside. Let me tell you why.
He's a freaking billionaire, died rich, still sat with his mother on the floor where the mother is comfortable till he died. If you see him, you won't rate his wealth from that. That's my wish. You don't see me and you assess me, finish. That's my wish. So everybody's wish is different. You want to have your $100,000 flaunt at you and snap picture. I want to have my own and quietly put and just be touching lights.
And there's a different generation.
So we're all differently wired. We're all differently wired. Someone said something now, and I could put it right. The example that you said that we like to flaunt our goods. No. We like to rejoice with others. And I will use that Igbo example. When I live in an Igbo community presently, and my two is not even close to what I live in. When we go and greet baby, they will give you powder. I'm just saying to you that it's sticker. So that example you have picked, you have not understood it well. It's not only the mother who puts powder on her neck.
Mine is better than yours.
When you come, you will be happy. You will take powder with them. You will rejoice and put on your neck. Is it the mother who was flaunting her baby, or you are rejoicing with them? So I want people who are watching.
No, she's talking as a celebration.
She doesn't explain.
As a celebration.
That is our nature.
Is your good news.
She's saying
that's the conversation.
We have baby safe now. We are going to do naming.
She's saying that. Okay, let's pack that because I know
the point I'm trying to make is that we don't all flaunt our good news.
I agree.
It's not flaunting. It's announcing. I'm happy. Flaunting puts a negative perspective.
But you think flaunting doesn't happen?
Flaunting happens, but when you say anybody that announces a good thing is flaunting, it's wrong.
We're not saying anybody, but we know that there are some people who
of course.
There's a reason why that word exists, because people do it. There are some people that are known to flaunt. There are some people that are known to be boastful. It happens. Does it make it right because the thing is the thing that people are doing now? Does it make it right because younger people are doing it? Usually, as you're growing up, there are things you do. Older people would correct you. as a child, I remember times where I would want to maybe boast about school achievements or things like that, and my mom would caution me. So I've grown up to realize that my achievements are not for me to flaunt and boast. It's for me to be happy about and others to rejoice for me. And so when someone says what she's done, I hear your point where you're saying she's not flaunting, she's just excited about it, good for her. And I think the other person who thinks that this is not something I would do, and I see it to be, some people will even call it classless. Why are you, that showing off of raw cash on social media or throwing of raw cash up, or, you know, in the air, or even spray money. There are some people that would never spray money at parties because they think it's classless. It's not a bad thing for me, actually. I think I would raise my children to not be throwing cash up and down. Not because they're unhappy for those who have it, but because it just does not make sense. You have it, you do what it is that you are meant to do with it, and you appreciate people in ways. It's just the same way someone who appreciates somebody with money or with food, and some people will take a camera crew with them, and some people will decide to do it quietly. Different strokes for different
So let me answer the question why I said there's a little bit of Regina in everybody. And the reason why I said that is because we don't know where she's coming from. Everybody's coming from a background. Coming from those who've been mocked, laughed at, people thought you can do nothing in your life, and finally you found a way to marry this rich guy, and even if you're in a community where they still don't respect you, they don't regard you, like, hey, so you married him, big deal. There's something innate in you that want to prove that I have arrived, I've gotten somewhere, respect me, regard me, give me my dues. Yes, I'm not married to a rich man. I've paid a bit of my dues. I have 2 children, I have 3 children now. I'm now this person. Acknowledge me, I am this person. There's something inside you you're trying to prove to the world. And we all do it in little ways. So in this her own way, she's throwing that, oh, I got cash, I have $100,000 breathing in my account. That's her own way. But we all have a way of staying in the world that we are educated. Now I am exposed. Now I have done this. Now I am better than you. Yes, we used to be in the same class together. We had barbed our hair. We were looking all skinny. But now I am a lady. Now I speak well. Now I'm rich. I'm married to a rich man.
Does that have a lot to do with her age? Would her mother do that?
I'm saying that. What I'm just saying,
never mature.
Would her mother watch it and say, don't do that again? If the mother gets that kind of money, do you think the mother as an older adult would flaunt it like that? Sometimes it's age. And so for those of us who are mature, not to be afraid to correct because we're afraid of backlash. Correct what is not right.
What is wrong?
Children will make childish mistakes. The older, mature people will correct when they see something that is not right.
When you say not right, it already invalidates your earlier comment of saying everybody is different.
No, it does not don't mistake it. It does not invalidate it if what you're doing is flaunting or being boastful. It does not, what I said does not invalidate that. What I'm saying is, what you're saying that it invalidates is, I'm saying that the person who is showing off is not necessarily...
Let me talk about you. Mariam, let me give you an example.
I've lost the thread of my thoughts.
Let me give you an example. Mariam is this young girl from Jos, and she grew up very conservative. Laughed at her. She's skinny, she's ugly, she had issues with, she was very insecure growing up. In primary school, she didn't have friends. Secondary school, she didn't have friends. Gradually, as she started growing up, she was more mature, finding herself. Now she's a published author. She's doing very well. And things are looking up to her. And all those who she laughed at, even till now, probably still don't talk to her because it's not that Mariam. It's not that one that is that skinny girl that didn't even speak English properly. What's she feeling now? Oh, she's on TV. Oh, she thinks she's smart. Gradually, there's somewhere inside every human being, or somewhere inside maybe many people that your background is haunting you, and there's something that pushes you to just let them know that, listen, I'm better than you think. I'm now this person. Now I'm Ned Nwoko's wife. I'm giving you an example of different people come from different. I'm not saying that is the case.
I know.
I'm saying people come from different places where there's a need. I'll come and make a point. So the point is, let's not demonize one person for flaunting or celebrating her wealth in whatever way she wants to flaunt.
Flaunting and boast. Because she used me as an example, let me just give this. Do you know that some people would not feel this is who I am and I'm going to go and show them? We know those people. We see them when they are coming back to flaunt. When they are coming from a regular family visit, there's a way that they dress and carry their shoulder because they are trying to flaunt. We know people who have come from humble backgrounds and have made it, and so when they go home in all their humility because it's not about you people. I know who I am today. I know what I am. There's nothing you say, think, or say behind in front of me that will change that. And there are some people that for me, I feel it's a sense of great self-esteem. If you're not moved by what people say or what your background was, there are people who come to flaunt. Flaunting is not a good thing. boastfulness is not a good thing, and I stand by it. And throwing cash in the public, for me, is a childish thing.
So that's
Let me talk about drawing code for a while, please.
okay. What you want?
So when we talk about, you see, the truth is everybody we're living our life based on the knowledge we have and the exposure that we have, our bringing. And for some people, what you read as pride is for someone else confidence. And everybody around the person will say she's being proud, she's arrogant. And the truth is genuinely from the person's place. There's no pride, there's no arrogance. It's just that I'm a very confident person. I know who I am, I know what I'm worth. And there's no, it's undebatable. I cannot take it. I know who I am and I cannot take anything less than this. But the person looking at it will see it as pride or arrogance. That's the same way sometimes we might be misconstruing someone thanking and being grateful. I got an iPhone X on this show a few years back on my birthday. People insulted my joy because they felt it's just an iPhone X. I wanted that phone. Like it was on my list. I really, really wanted it and I got it free and I was so happy I posted it online that I got it as a gift. It wasn't to flaunt. It was pure joy and gratitude. But somebody else saw it as poverty-stricken person. Somebody else saw it as you finally got an iPhone. So we sometimes place labels and judgments on pure joy because we just don't get it. I don't like spraying money. It's not my culture. Mariah loves it. And it doesn't mean that she's not being classy or refined. It's just that's our own. In Lagos Island, the classiest person will just be doing like this. That's how they do it. For some, their own way of I've attained it is when I carry that bundle and I throw it up in the air. And everybody is now like, so we must understand over time that we cannot say this is universal right or universal wrong. Of course, there are some areas that there is no, you lie, you steal, you do those ones, there's no gray area. But in emotions and interpretation of emotions, there are a lot of gray areas. So we must learn to accommodate those gray areas so that we would live in peace with one another.
Okay. No, Nima, let me tell you.
Okay, so there are certain principles that are just basic. They show the standard that you must uphold yourself. It is not just based on exposure. They've been tested. So you finally reached there. If Tope were to get an iPhone again today on the show, even if it was on her top list, and she fell over and started screaming again, I would probably think, Tope, after all these years, you never mature. You know? Because there's a way you carry yourself. There's a first time, but there are several ways you continue to carry yourself subsequently. So I have been through hate. I know someone, a brother Adubo, who said, who's this girl? She's too playful, she can never be anything. When I finally achieved all the things on my list that he said I couldn't achieve, I saw him in the neighborhood. I greeted him with due respect. He couldn't look up, but I greeted him because basic principle is I can't disrespect his age. It won't be because I don't say, hey, come here. Did you hear that I've arrived? Classless. Classless. Putting him in his place that way shows that me going, I've not arrived. But I greeted him. I passed him. I went to my parents' house. As I was coming back, I greeted him again. If he calls me, I will pick his call. But I can respectfully say, no, I'm not going to be involved in this. I had such a conversation with one of my relatives when my dad died. I was like, where have you been all these years? How can you just relate and send my number out to a stranger? Don't do that again. Respectfully, stating your point. You can be as upset as you want. I was livid when I was talking to this person, but I didn't lose my thoughts. So some things and whenever I do get to that limit, I want to call myself back in a way that, I beat myself up in my privacy. That, Nima, why did you do this kind of thing?
I really wanted this conversation to be very interesting and so, but it has really gotten hardcore.
I'm trying to reach a point, Mariah.
Okay, let me let you finish, please.
You've been married for this number of years. You've had children with this person. You've been gifted too many times. So many times. You've been hated. You've been loved. You've been back and forth. Now create your own identity. Aside this person, you're not the first person who leveraged into success with marriage. Read history. Some people should be your role model. I don't want to be mentioning names on this table. Some people should be your role model. Quietly, focus on your work. The movies that you have shot, as they're coming out, push that as your content out and earn your respect fully. Obi can give to you house safe. It will be in your name. Your worth, you would know. But create an image for yourself that gives you respect. This one, some people will be forced to respect you when they finally know what you're worth.
Please, let's go to
let's take a few
the
comments.
role of the topic
Role of gifting, yeah,
the role of gifting in marriage. The role of gifting in marriage is sweet.
Honestly,
it's beautiful.
Unfortunately, some of us have not experienced it because we just never understood.
Don't lie.
You just not gotten what
I
you
didn't
want.
say me, I said some of us.
Some of us.
Some women, I'm talking about
Just say some people.
Some women.
Some women. That's when you say some of us.
No. I am representing a lot of Nigerian women on this table.
Okay, we get you.
There are some Nigerian women I'm representing, so and I must stand for them. Some of us women don't enjoy gifts in marriages or have not been
trying to
given.
make the conversation very light-hearted.
Yes.
But this thing that you said just reminds me of conversation I've had, a couple of times with young people. So we have a group of Nigerian women, young girls and older, who see people flaunting, like maybe the cash and the big cars, and forget to understand that in reality, someone is getting that because someone can afford to give it.
Abi.
So you are now in your own relationship and you're wondering why you're not giving me a house full of roses
giving parameters.
like Kanye West is giving,
Is that not your
giving
mates?
him. Exactly. So we have young girls in university or just out of university dating their boyfriends or fiancés about the same age, the same quality, and saying that you have not just gift, the level of gift. Auntie, this is the person you have married. You know by looking at the person that this is what the person can afford. And even in their little, they have shown you generosity beyond measure. But it's not enough because it is not the iPhone that you wanted. It's not enough. The sacrifices this person is making, going without maybe another a new pair of shoes or another shirt that I can wear to go to work. Decides, I'll put that aside. I'll manage this, my old shirt, and then get you maybe another kind of phone. It's not enough because that is not what you're asking. I mean, that's not what you see on social media. That's not what you saw Tokwe getting. So why should that be enough for me? So I know that it can be lighthearted, but I'm afraid that sometimes we're making the mistakes that because we're all on social media together, sometimes we forget our age, we forget our experience, we forget that we have a role sometimes to correct some things. Right. And when we watch children make mistakes, that we can correct them to say everything is gray area, everything is understood, not understood. Let's be careful not to lump everything that can be corrected into that box.
You even need to have a separate show on gifting in marriage because I think it's a topic worth having. We don't gift each other. Women sometimes don't gift their husbands, just take it for granted. Husbands don't gift their wives, they just take it for granted. I beg, So we just take each other for granted and we don't see the importance. Because I think it's the height of romance and love for somebody to be filming, jejely minding her business, and the guy just sends gifts to her. Okay, there's this cash.
That's why people say they like marrying older men, because older men tend to spoil.
High five from afar.
Yes.
That older men know how to spoil. Because we know they.
So let me share a personal story. The first few years of marriage, I'm not gifting is not my love language. Actually, it's not. I'm not moved by money and all of that. I'm one of those that suffer for my boyfriends in the time, spent money on them, spent money.
Which kind of money? From where?
Because I was always earning, I was always doing makeup. I started doing makeup from when I was in Yabatek. So I always had cash. My parents always gave me money. So I remember cooking my little soup in my boyfriend then's house, and all of them would eat my bed sheet for my school. I dashed my boyfriend because his bed sheet in his own room was not good. I was that kind of person.
Well done.
So I have suffered for man.
Your eyes have seen.
So when I married my husband, I wasn't, because I'm used to not getting, I wasn't expecting. But I also wasn't giving. What I expected from him was support my business, help my business grow. I'll earn money, I'm okay. But after 5-6 years, Auntie Annie is always spoiling me with gifts, honestly. Auntie Annie travels every time, she will give me something. And I loved the feeling when I get it. Exactly. So I started reciprocating with YK. And I loved it. And then I started getting more gifts from people, and I started inculcating the habit of giving. And it's changed. Before, we didn't give gifts during marriage, during wedding, birthdays in my house. But now I deliberately get my husband a gift for his birthday. I don't think that Ogamak has reciprocated well enough, but I am changing him. So now I know that we are teaching ourselves to give. Yeah. And it's a journey we are really enjoying. Yeah. And I'm going out of my way to do more.
That's fantastic. As I said, we need the whole show.
Sorry.
But I was going to say something on what Mariam said.
YK says, please, why don't people say I am in the toilet and film themselves on social media. Slap yourself doing the S. Please, they shouldn't flaunt themselves on the toilet, you know.
I know, but if you say it's everything you want to flaunt now, flaunt that as well.
Mariam said something, and I think it's really important. Comparison is a thief of joy. You might not get 200,000. You might not even get 100,000. You might never get 10,000. What you might get might be a card. What you might get might be a thoughtful text message. What you might get might be biscuits. I asked my husband to stop buying me this. There's this particular chocolate cookies that I love, and every time he goes to supermarket, he would always buy for me, and he would buy granola. I'm like, see, I love what you're buying for me, but it's making me add weight. Yeah. Please, but actually, don't buy anymore. So is that not big? So is that consistency of small things?
Just like Talk West, I have a similar story, but mine hasn't ended in the next day like this. So I have a similar story where all my life too, I said it before, I never gotten gifts. Like all the people I dated, I've never been a gift person because I guess.
Did you give?
I wasn't a giver. I didn't collect. I didn't. So I didn't.
You were indifferent.
I wasn't different. So I never. So for me, I felt gifting wasn't a love language. Even in the time I entered myself, I was like nobody gifted anybody anything. But I guess when we start getting gifts from different people, you now realize that you actually like the feeling. It's fun, So, but mine hasn't ended because my husband, I bought him a gift. I mean, I'm not buying my husband a gift. I'm not. I have told myself I'm not until something happens. Maybe God comes down from heaven and tells me directly. Because I bought him gifts for his 40th? I did.
Yeah, I remember.
And he didn't like kids, and we went to the store to just get that. This is beautiful gift, and we bought shopped and shopped. Came home, and my husband said, "What is this nonsense?" He totally discarded everything.
Why he thought they were not.
He said that he doesn't wear cargo shorts. He doesn't wear the kind of hats I bought. He doesn't wear the shirts. He doesn't like the belt. He doesn't. And he didn't touch it.
Because he's not a gift person.
I ended up wearing it. I started giving out, and everything. So then I was so hurt that since that day until today, I'm not buying again. But you see, the reason why I said we need to discuss it as a topic.
Yeah.
Because there are different reasons why we don't gift each other.
Yeah.
And there are reasons why we forget. Some of us used to give in the early days and we stopped giving. Some of them have never given before. Some of them, so there are reasons why we must bring this topic back to the fore.
It's so important because talking about gifting, giving someone gifts or receiving, we also have to talk about the attitude of receiving gifts.
Yeah.
See, no matter what people give me, I am so excited and grateful for it. I always hear from people that the joy that I express is more than, because for me it's not about the thing itself. It's that you thought of me. In your, whatever you have, your scarcity or in your abundance, you still found a way to think of me. Do you know, if you even send me just a text message, so I am so happy. But I realized that, and I have to also say that I haven't always been like that. So it's something that I learned. And if I tell you who taught me, it was my daughter. That when you give her something, the way she will be so excited about it, I'm so grateful for it. I learned, to show that sort of appreciation. And I feel that even when you don't like a gift, that someone has done something for you, you must appreciate that effort.
Yeah, it's the effort. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Auntie,
so, since we're talking about gifting, I don't know, I think in the early days in my marriage, my husband just used to be ripped off. He used to buy things that, he thought were priceless. And then when he brings them, I'm a Lagos market girl. I work at Lagos where I know Balogun, I know the corners where they bought all these things.
How much
so I was like, how much did you buy it? And then that sort of discouraged him. I actually love gifting. I loved it because I love giving. I enjoy it. That's what I think is a prophetic saying. Gift each other, it endears each other. So I've always practiced that sooner. I love it. But it's not until you buy me big gifts, Oga, in case you're watching. I love it regularly. I love it as sorry. I love it, yes. Yeah. And I hate that you don't know my sizes.
God bless you. They don't know my size.
Just last month, we had one small fight. And I said, okay, I'm in a boutique. What's the size of your dress? I was like, me. Adura Abaya Timoni. Size of my dress, don't worry.
Our size always changing. They don't know my size too.
My in-laws came the other day and he was like, I bought for you. I bought this shirt. You bought for her. He was just telling his wife, it was me that bought this one for you now. It was me that bought
our sizes change. It's okay to ask.
No,
our sizes change.
The size of an abaya is a regular size. It's not okay to ask me. I know my husband's shoe size, everything. I cannot make a mistake with
another place that we got the lesson from gifting. Honestly, I think almost every year, a month in the church, we talk about marriage and love. And my church is a teaching church. They break it down, how to give,
Yeah.
how small. It was from there that he started getting biscuits every time because that was his own way of responding to the message.
You can't learn from Uncle Mark. Okay, you know what? As I said, we'll pick a day next week or something to talk about this because it's something that we really need to discuss. It helps marriage. Sorry?
I think when BC is back, I
NBC
would
is
like
back.
to hear BC's perspective
That
on
one,
this.
a correct giver. She collects and
She's a collective champion.
collecting champion. Okay, that's all we can take on today's show. I hope you learned a few things as we have. Nothing against collecting from your husband or your spouse or your loved one. There's nothing wrong in giving, and we don't think how Regina received her gift is not a bad thing. We're just saying that what the package she received or the new note is still pinching many of us because we can't see the new note and how billionaire husband has access to this note. So we are a bit, no, we're not happy that Emefiele released money for Ned Nwoko.
But did not release
Not release money for Nima and Morel that went to the bank to collect small money. And all the market women. That's the one that's pinching us. But the idea of just giving your spouse a gift while she's away and unexpected is a fantastic thing. And we celebrate Ned Nwoko for that. Thank you very much. And we hope all men too try to do that. And women too reciprocate the same thing with their spouses. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday. Bye for now.